Hi, this is Monica
and Lindy
from Huckleberry Mountain Botanical School of Herbalism. Lindy's going to get us set up
on the Prepared Homestead. And please let us know if the audio is working. Just
thumbs up or something.
Just making sure.
Do you want to see if you can hear it on your phone?
Yeah. I mean, it's connected. I think it.
Is it working? Sound working? Good to go? Hi, Sean. Sound good to go? Hi, Miranda.
Hi, Miranda.
Oh, great. Miranda. Oh, good. You said hello. You get to be in the drawing. In case if you're watching this on YouTube, it's too late. You had to show up at the live. So sad for you. But if you come to our lives, remember 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Thursday, and you come and you say hello. We enter you in a drawing at the end of the month. We're going to draw, and one person will win, and we'll send you 2 or 3 of the preparations that we made here live for you and with you. So just for fun. So tonight I'm going to share the combination that I prefer for my herbal coffee blend. I like very dark coffee. So you need to, play with these ingredients and adjust it a little bit to see what you prefer. I'm going to start out though with dandelion root. And this is actually stuff that I gathered with my apprentices last year, and we chopped and dried, but it needs to be roasted in order to have tasty, I always burn myself, but tasty dark coffee. Everything really needs to be roasted.
Yeah.
Roasted.
Well, kind of like coffee beans are roasted.
Yeah, coffee beans are roasted too. And so I'm going to take this and just sprinkle it in. This is a dry pan. There's no oil or anything like that in here. Can you get my spoon? And I'm just going to kind of mess with it. Just move it around and not let it get, burned. But it needs to be sitting here for about 5 minutes. And it's interesting because if you've ever browned anything, it does nothing. It does nothing.
And then it's brown.
It does nothing. And then it suddenly is brown and you have to immediately take it off.
Yeah.
Quickly. And this is no different. It's exactly the same. So just be prepared for that. Just know it's going to take a little bit of time and you'll be staring at it going, it's not doing anything. And then suddenly it'll do something. Do not leave it alone. The other option is to put it in an oven. You can do it between 180 and 220 for about 5 minutes, but it may need a little bit longer. So pull it out, stir it around, put it back in, and keep an eye on it. You want it to be a nice dark color. And let me show you the difference between our roasted dandelion root and our unroasted. Here, you want to hold that in your hand?
Yeah.
She's like my assistant this evening. It's not a giant difference, and maybe it's hard for you guys to see.
So this is unroasted, and this is roasted.
Yeah, so it has that nice dark look. And it just brings out a nicer flavor. Dandelion root, does contain inulin, and that's really great for feeding. It's a prebiotic, so it feeds the microflora in your gut. It can also help regulate blood sugar. It can help regulate cholesterol. It's great for liver stimulation, and it's a very gentle laxative. It's not one of those laxatives that's going to cause cramping and horrendous pain. But if somebody is not regular, this is a great thing to bring in. And if you're trying to reduce caffeine, which you should be, caffeine, messes with our adrenals. It keeps our cortisol levels high, and we're already high stress. It can increase your heart rate. There's a lot of side effects. I'm not saying that no caffeine, but what I'm saying is that some people are drinking 4, 5, 6, 7
big cups.
Yeah, cups a day, a couple of pots of coffee a day. That's also really hard on your digestion. It's really hard on your stomach, and it's hard on your intestines. So reducing coffee, maybe you can half this, half your coffee with this herbal coffee blend. Hi, Stephanie.
Warner, you get put into the drawing.
All right. So
again.
Yes, Stephanie, you're on top of it, girlfriend. Nice to see you. So this is starting to brown. In the meantime, let me talk to you about the other ingredients we have coming in. I I actually put in roasted cocoa nibs. And the reason I do that, the cocoa nibs have a nice dark, you know, when you're that dark chocolate, that's like real unsweetened chocolate. These cocoa nibs I toasted for a short period of time until they turned a nice dark color. And that pulls, again, that real bitter flavor that you're used to with coffee.
Yeah.
And I don't use sugar, so chicory I do use, but very little. I use a little chicory. And because this does have such bitter flavor, I actually use only half part of the cocoa nibs. Half part. And what's nice about this recipe, you guys, is you can make as much or little as you want. I'm not making a lot today. And really, you only need between 1 and 2 tablespoons to make about a 10-ounce cup of coffee. I put 12 ounces in there, but because I let it simmer for about 30 minutes.
It simmers off a little bit.
Yeah, some of the water simmers off. And so I end up with about 10 or 11 ounces of coffee. And you could easily turn that into an espresso style. If you put in a little less water, still put in that couple of tablespoons, put in like 8 ounces of water and let that simmer down. And you have a nice, strong coffee. Okay, we're starting to see some smoke here.
And this is the moment where it's going to go from 0
yes,
to 60.
Exactly. 0 to 60.
I mean, that's a pretty simple process.
Yes. And I can really smell it now.
Yeah, it smells good.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the first time I tasted cacao nibs, or however you pronounce it. Cocoa nibs. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I just thought that they were unbelievably bitter. But now that I'm more used to bitter flavors,
they seem to be okay.
It's still bitter, but oh wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like rushing around here. All right, taking it off.
Okay. Perfect. Look at that. Nice and brown and toasty. Oh, wait. Does it actually taste like coffee? What? The blend?
Well, okay, honey, come on. It tastes coffee-like. There is, to me, it's slightly different. But if you combine it with like half regular coffee and half this,
and you'll get so used to it that it will taste like coffee.
Yeah, and it really, when I do half and half, so if I do my half decaf or whatever and I mix it with my herbal blend, I really can't tell the difference. If you want to do something like a pour over, you're going to get a much weaker coffee. However, if you're going to do that, grind it all down.
To like a more of a powder.
Yes.
I mean, because, or not like
more
a
like
powder, like a coffee grind.
Like a coffee grind.
Yeah, because imagine like the difference between pouring water over like a
chunk
carrot
of root, right?
And a chunk of something versus powder.
Right.
It's going to infuse a lot easier.
Right. So if you're doing a pour over, that probably won't turn out that awesome. However, many times I've used my French press. And so I grind it down right before I'm going to use it. And just like I do coffee, grind it down, put it in the French press, pour the hot water in there, stir it a little bit, and then let it sit. And with that, I let it sit for about 15 minutes and leave it in the bottom. And I just press it down and drink. And then it gets stronger as you go down. So I've got this nice roasted stuff here. I'm going to put it, I need to put it somewhere else. Can you get me another bowl?
Yeah.
So you can use, this is actually quite versatile. You don't have to simmer it. I prefer simmering it because I really think that it just draws out the good constituents and it really makes a nice dark taste. So if you're looking for that darker taste, that may be what you want to do.
All right, so we've got half a part.
20 grams and it's half part. Yes, and we're going to do 2 parts.
Now, is it cacao or is it cocoa?
It's cocoa. I think there's people say it lots of different ways. But I'm calling it cocoa nibs.
That's probably going to be cacao.
Cacao. All right.
So half a part cocoa nibs.
2 parts
2
roasted
parts
dandelion.
Roasted dandelion. And
1 part chicory. And that's
Ooh.
roasted chicory.
What is 1 part?
40. I'm doing it in grams, and this isn't going to make a lot, but it's enough for me. And it really isn't difficult to make or combine. So making this up on a weekly basis is so simple. It's just not a big deal. But if when you taste it, you go, I don't really like this, totally experiment.
Yeah.
Feel comfortable taking these and creating your own.
And this is your own blend that you came up with through experimenting on what
what I like.
Yeah.
And like I said, I like dark coffee. And sometimes I'll leave chicory out and I'll replace it with regular coffee. And that works fine for me too. And did you know you can make regular coffee in a pot? A lot of people do that. They still do that in Turkey. And we used to do that in the United States, where you just put the coffee grounds into boiling water, let it simmer for 10, 15 minutes, and then let the grounds settle to the bottom and strain it off. So it's not like it would be that awkward or unusual to prepare coffee, even regular coffee, in a pot. All right, so I have my blend here. And I can really smell that chicory and stuff too. And if you do put any sweetener in your coffee, that chicory adds a slight sweet flavor.
Turkish coffee,
which I think with that sweet flavor, the bitterness is brought out a little bit more when you add that slight sweet. So it pairs well with the chocolate. Additionally, add fun stuff to this. I've done cinnamon chips in it, which are really, really great. You can just stick Ceylon cinnamon, just break it up, stick it in there. Cayenne. There's lots of different things that you can do.
Yeah.
You can add a little bit more cocoa nibs and make it some chocolatey with some spice.
Yeah.
And then add some honey and some honey and some cream. I mean, there's just so many ways to take this base and turn it into something that's unique and special to you. And since we're getting near the holiday season, another great gift to give to family, you know, especially if you know somebody who's massively addicted to caffeine. Encourage them to start out with maybe 3/4 of their regular coffee and 1/4 this, and slowly build up more and more until they're doing at least a half and half or something, because that does help reduce that caffeine for them. And if people flavor their coffee, but anyway, if they flavor their coffee with the vanillas or the caramels or anything like that, really the difference between this and what they're normally drinking is minimal as far as taste. They just won't have the same, you know, caffeine high that they get. So they might suffer with headaches for a little bit of time. Yeah. But if they're trying to come down, it's not a big deal. You have to suffer through that anyway. And if you're doing it little by little, it's really not, it's not that big of a deal. You can totally do it. So we love to hear if people make stuff and how you like it and what changes you made to accommodate your personal taste or your family's taste. So if you make this, let us know. What else do we have to say?
Be on the lookout for Herbal Preparations 103 that's coming out October 1st.
Yes, and next month we are going to do our best to start our subscription, our Herbal subscription box, where you can purchase all the ingredients and stuff that you need to do some of our preparations with us. And include children in this. There's absolutely no reason why kids, not the alcoholic ones, kids can't be doing some of this stuff too and learning that 99% coffee, 1% dandelion.
Yeah. Well, it's a start.
It's a start. You could start there, honey.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that is it for tonight. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, let us know. If you aren't following us on YouTube, is following us? What is it over there?
Subscribe.
If you aren't subscribed, go over to YouTube, subscribe to us. Come over here, like Huckleberry Mountain Botanicals Facebook page. If you're watching us on the Prepared Homestead, please pop over to Huckleberry Mountain Botanicals and follow us there. Eventually, we're going to stop broadcasting. What is it called? Cross-posting over to the Prepared Homestead and keep it over here. So I don't want you to miss the lives. And if you're here, don't be a stalker. Say hello. We like to talk with you, not at you. All right. We appreciated hearing from everybody, and we appreciated you coming. really, it's really nice. To us, our evenings, this kind of ends our work day, but it's also a time for us to just hang out and talk to friends and work with herbs, which is something we love to do. So we will see you tomorrow, and we'll be using this dandelion blend coffee to make our next thing for tomorrow, which is our liqueur, which we'll be using on Thursday. So don't miss that, okay? Until next time, health and joy.
Bye.